Book Bingers, the podcast where two best friends talk about books, book boyfriends, fantasy, romance, and everything that pops into our head like today, which is going to be all about plane reads. Yes, this has been highly requested.
Yeah, and the thing is, we were kind of talking about, what would classify a plane read? We should do something about plane reads. And literally that day, someone was like, I can't wait until you talk about plane reads.
And we were like, what? Like, the universe straight up delivered on that one. Because we were like, would anybody...
Is there a hidden camera in here?
Would anybody want that? Like, I don't know. And then that person asked.
And that begs the question of, like, what do you consider a plane read?
Correct. And we kind of went back and forth on this as to, like, what I like to read on a plane, what you like to read on a plane.
It kind of encompasses a few things.
Is it a long plane ride? Is it a short plane ride? Yeah. So we kind of threw a little bit of a couple different things in there because every reader is different. And obviously, if you're listening to us, you probably know that we are more on the fantasy romance side.
Yeah, we skew that way.
We skew that way. So if you're looking for like Stephen King type stuff, you're probably not going to get it here. That being said, I've read a psychotic amount of Stephen King, but it was all before the year 2016.
There you go.
I think that was the last time I read Stephen King.
So for you, what do you look for in a plane read?
For me, I look for one that I can get lost in it, but also I don't want to be crying on a plane. I don't want it to be so emotional. I want it to be like real popcorn.
You don't want to have to press your button to be like, can I have more napkins, please?
No, I don't want to be turned on a plane, and I don't want to be crying. Fair. Laughing, I don't mind, but I want to be so interested in my book that everything around me disappears because the planes are gross and loud. Absolutely. Even with my, soundproof ears on, I can still hear all the things.
Yeah.
What do you look for?
Same in many regards. Like, I want to just be able to... I want a book that's going to pick up right away. Yeah. And I'm going to be in it right away.
Yeah. I don't want to have to work for it.
I don't want to care about, like, the bro next door who's, like, taking off his shoes or he's, like, encroaching on my space. Like, I just want to I want to read something that kind of makes everything else just not bother me.
Where if I have to go to the bathroom and come back and go, wait, what now? Like, no, I want to be able to easily be able to go in and out of it because I might have a connecting flight.
If I'm on a longer plane ride, I would like something that I can finish.
If I can start and finish a book on a plane, because there's nothing worse than you're landing and you only have like 50 pages left and you're like, yeah. No, I'm so close. That's the worst. So we're going to give you a couple easy reads, a couple that are for short plane rides, and a couple that are for some of your longer plane rides.
Yeah.
We got you.
Yeah.
All right.
The first one that I have on here is, I love this book so much.
I love this book.
Project Hail Mary.
Yes.
By Andy Weir. Oh my God. And it's going to be a movie.
I know.
With Ryan Gosling.
I know.
Stop. This is sci-fi.
Yeah.
And,
I know we just said that we
I know, but I do love sci-fi.
Same.
Oh, the way that I fell in love with these characters.
Could easily be fantasy to me. You know what I mean? It's just another world with other characters.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. And this is one that it's just so well written, but also you are so engrossed in the story so quickly. And
again, it's going to be a movie. So keep that in mind. But this is a great airplane.
Absolutely.
Book. Like you're from page one, you are in it.
Yeah.
And that's what you're really looking for.
Correct.
Right? You don't want a slow burn. No. You don't want a slow build up in a plane.
I don't need to like a lot of world building and dense,
No. I want page one action in a book or funny or comedy, love, whatever. I don't want to have to like
right out the gate. I want to be intrigued right out the gate.
I don't want one of those books where you're like, just get past 20% and then it takes off. No, bitch. I want it to take off right away.
And when I started this list, these next couple also follow along this same vein.
That's fine. We, feel free to jump around.
Yeah.
But just go into the next one.
We'll go to one more. We'll go to one more sci-fi before we hit some romance.
Okay.
But Scythe.
Ugh.
Okay,
dude.
Corey, I know Corey would back me up with this.
Okay, listen. You and Corey want me to read Scythe so bad. Bitches, book me a flight then. Okay? And I will happily read it. Where are we going?
Disneyland.
Because we are going to Disneyland in August and Vegas. So I have multiple plane rides coming up. You want me to read Scythe? I will read Scythe.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
I also have a surgery coming up. Should we make surgery reads for Janelle?
Yes,
because
we should.
I'm going to need a lot of recovery reads.
We got to pack that Kindle.
But Scythe, oh my God. Corey, if you asked my husband right now what his like number one book is, I think he'd say Scythe. It would be the number one he'd want to see adapted into a show.
And it is. It's going to be.
He's going to lose his mind. It's okay. Go ahead and tell the people what it's about.
So there's this utopian society.
Yeah.
And they have, basically conquered death. Mm-hmm. And the only way that the population gets culled is by this subset of people who are trained to be scythes. And when I tell you, it is intriguing right away. Right away, you're like, what do you mean?
Listen, so Corey, I didn't think I was going to read it, right? So I was like, go ahead and tell me all about it.
Oh!
So Corey's told me about it, but damn, it sounds so good.
It is.
And he said it takes off right away, which is what you want. And yes, this is a series.
Yeah.
But
you also have a plane ride home.
Okay? So
prepare and just get yourself the first two, okay?
Yeah. I think there's 3 in the book or 4 in the book?
There's 3 in the main series, but there is a 4th. Gleanings. Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. I mean, listen, it's on my TBR, and it's not one of those it's on my TBR. Like, I will read it. Mm-hmm. I actually have it on my bookshelf. I own it. Mm-hmm. I've never had 2 people in my life literally be so obsessed with a book that I had never heard of. And it's been long enough you guys read them.
Like, Corey told you about this long enough ago.
So long ago.
You forgot a little bit of it.
You know what's crazy about it? I had never heard about it, but I was on Book Outlet and was like, oh, it's $5 and the cover looks cool. Let me just get this series. It does have a cool cover, It's a cool cover, and I was like, let me just buy it.
It's giving Handmaids, the cover.
Yeah. It's so cool, though, and Corey was like, let me just pick up this one off our bookshelf, I guess.
Amazing.
Loved it. Okay, moving on.
Going to a little romance. And I think that this author, in general, could be considered just someone that you look at her stuff. Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Oh, yeah.
I think any of her books really are good airplane reads.
Yes.
Whether it's Daisy Jones.
I think that's such a great one.
Yeah.
Because there's so many good
stopping points.
Stop points. I had never read a book quite like that before.
Me neither.
Daisy Jones, where it was yes, different POVs, but it's also from an interview aspect. And I still very much was obsessed with all of the characters. And yes, there is a show which does a great job.
So you can download the episodes on Amazon Prime.
Wow, though, the writing blew me away.
And I've heard the audiobook for this is also very good because it's all the different voices.
And it's very much loosely based on Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah.
So if you like Fleetwood Mac,
it's definitely that vibe.
It's that vibe. Yeah. It's so good. But yeah, you're right. Anything by Taylor Jenkins Reid.
Even I would say Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. That's her.
Yep.
Malibu Rising. You know what I haven't really read by her is that Carrie Soto.
I haven't read that,
but I feel like I would probably like it.
Probably.
I like all her stuff.
Yeah, so. I would. I mean, Malibu Rising, just a great one. I forget about that book a lot, but that's a great one.
And she has characters that cross over between her books.
She does, and she's very good at writing different styles.
Yeah, they're wildly different. If you were to
ask me what she writes,
correct.
All of it. I don't even know.
Correct.
She's all over the place. But she does them all really well.
And she wrote that book, I don't know what it's called. This is a really good recommendation. It was that movie with Simu Liu in it.
Yeah, I don't know what it's called, but yes.
So she wrote that too, and I feel like I would probably like that.
I mean, probably. She seems like a cool chick.
Cool cat.
Yeah, cool cat.
Real cool cat.
All right, moving on.
We'll go
you skipped the Gracier. You should go to the Gracier.
Oh, the Gracier. Yeah, that's a Kindle Unlimited, and that is a dystopian, it's a YA book. So I feel like
Cher's going through her dystopian phase.
Maybe you don't want, I'm going back through it.
I'm
you can tell Hunger Games, I rewatched Hunger Games a few months ago, and all of a sudden I'm I need to read more of that.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like I don't want to be reading something super spicy on the plane. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, not
so the YA, the thrillers,
these are all books that if you're physically reading, the covers are still fine.
Correct.
You know what I mean? They're not going to be like, whoa, what are you reading?
Correct.
Also, if you're not a Kindle girly, maybe think about it for your plane. It's way easier to bring one thing versus multiple books.
It sure is.
Just saying.
You could load.
But this one has a cool cover.
This one does have a really cool cover.
Yeah.
And so in this society, like, girls come into their magic around the age of 16, and they are taken, all of these 16-year-olds, and sent out into the forest to survive the year together and dispel their magic so that they can come back and be safe for the men, you know, because they have all their
choose
power.
the bear.
Turns into a real, like, Lord of the Flies scenario.
Yeah.
Like, it's...
Lord of the Flies.
There's some violence. There's this real hierarchy. You see the hierarchy start to come out of who's going to be in charge, and they kind of have to come up with their own system of discipline and stuff like that, and it is it sucks you in right away. Yeah, I'll tell you that.
And I know I said I don't like spice on the plane, but like there's a couple spicy books on this list.
There's a couple, but like I know you all have a good poker face.
Yeah, at this point we're all accustomed to reading in front of our children, our family, or at church. I don't know, wherever you're reading.
Correct. A couple of these are on here purely because
they kind of have to do with travel or planes.
One is because there's a plane on the cover. In a couple other ones are because they're just so good.
Okay. Yes, there's a plane on the cover, but it does also take place a lot of the time on a plane. Okay, and we're talking Mile High.
By Liz Tomford.
Tomford.
This is also on Kindle Unlimited, so if you have a Kindle, no one's going to see what you're reading. You know what I
mean? So this one does get spicy. But it does have a plane on the cover, which just is amazing to read that while you're on the plane. But it is about a flight attendant.
It makes for a good photo to post on your stories.
It sure does with your plane, you know? Like the wing with your thing.
Just saying.
It is about a flight attendant who she works for a hockey team, and of course the star player who's a player and her
who's a player
get a little attraction going, and it does get some spice, but it's also like not your average spicy one because
do you know that I've seen so many people hating this book?
What?
Hating. Like, they're like, no, I know the first one sucks, but like the other two are good. And I'm like, what do you mean?
I love this one. First one's okay, the second one is better.
The second one's better, but
this one takes place on a plane. Okay? So, but I didn't think so. I wonder if it's because the like social norms are different in this one. And we get we have people of color. We've got curvy, not your stick figure. We've, like more on the plus size.
A couple people said it was because they didn't like how mean he was to her. But if you've listened to our last episode, we really have come to terms with like the enemies to lovers.
Okay. He's a little douchey in the beginning,
sure.
But that's his like vibe.
That's his MO.
They can't all be perfect guys straight out the gate.
No, like we love a redemption arc. Yeah, you know what I mean?
He's an athlete player, a little douchey, a little bit of an asshole, but she can hold her own. Okay,
she sure can.
Anyways,
she sure can.
Moving on. What else we got on here?
Oh, this one does have spice.
The last thing he told me.
Oh,
which
that
one?
one?
Which one are you going to?
I went to Paradise Problem.
All right. Well, let's stick with Paradise Problem.
Yeah. This one, I just think if you're going on a vacation, do you have it here? The cover is so pretty.
Uh-huh. I'd have to get up, so.
Yeah, no. Forget about it.
It's gorgeous.
Forget about it. It's like green and it has all these pink flowers
all over it. It's very tropical. So
tropical.
If you're going somewhere tropical.
Oh my God.
So I got this one as an ARC. I read it a while ago, but I loved it. It's by Christina Lauren. And they why do I always say that? Do you know I convinced myself that it was one person and her name was Christina Lauren. It's Christina Lauren. Two different people. They are just a powerhouse. Mm-hmm. I think I love everything by them.
The banter is so good. The pop culture references are always so good. Like there's a reference to Isle Esme.
Yes,
in here.
And like how topical for us because we just had a Twilight
party. I know. And then there's a reference to House Lannister.
Stop. I mean, like it's so good. If you're looking for a comedy romance, this is it.
Yes.
It's good. Honestly, I could say anything by them though.
Yeah. Yeah.
But this is the newest one that just came out. So you'll probably see it in the airport.
I would say pick it up.
Pick it up. Yeah. It's a good one. I don't think it's on Kindle Unlimited.
It's not.
But it's a good one. Pick it up. It's a cute cover, too. It's bright. It's bright color. Love it. Anyways, going on to the last thing he told me.
Last thing he told me, which, is more of a thriller.
Yeah.
But this is one that, again, you're engaged right away. You're like, what's the deal? What's happening? Unless you're Janelle and you, like, see it from, like, page 1, what happened. But
I mean, not always.
Did you get this one from the jump?
I mean, not from the jump.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Like 20 pages.
Oh my God, what was the show we were just watching that I was like, oh, Sarah's going to be so annoyed with me that I was right, but also didn't know the entire thing. What was the show with Mandy Patinkin in it?
Oh, and they're on the ship. Yeah.
Fuck.
Okay.
What was it called? Death and Other Details. Okay. Going back to where we were. It was like when we were watching Death and Other Details, this was another one that I was like, I'm not sure, but I think it's this person. And it was, but it was in a twisty way.
The twist was different.
The twist was different and good enough. So I don't always get them
was
right
who
at the
you
beginning.
thought it was, but it wasn't.
Yes. Yeah.
It was, but it
wasn't. That happens to me a lot, where I'm like, oh, I bet it's this thing, but it'll always
You're on the right track.
I'm always on the right track, and it'll end up being that person, but with like a twist. And I love that. Like, I want the twist. I don't want to know everything.
Correct.
So, yeah. So, the last thing you told me.
Yes. She's actually coming out with another book I just saw on Neck Alley that has like kind of the same as cover.
Is the last thing you told me becoming a movie?
That was the one that Jennifer Garner, the show on Apple TV.
I never watched it.
I watched it.
Did you watch it? Was it good? Was it a good adaptation of it?
Yeah, I think enough that it like stood on its own because the book didn't stay with me that much, but
good.
The show stayed with me.
So there's a show out as well. If you're more of like
if you want to download the episodes, it's on Apple TV.
But I liked the book.
Yeah, it's like. With these kind of mysteries, you're in it right away, and you're like, what's happening?
And that's the worst when you can't finish it in the book, because you're like, wait, I don't even know.
It's just about to reveal.
Yeah. So, I don't remember how long this one is, but I don't remember it being long.
No, it's not. So. And what's his face was in the show. We were just talking about the Lannisters. Jamie Lannister. Yeah.
Oh my God, maybe I need to go watch the show.
Nikolai Costello.
Yeah. Moving on. Okay, now this is an obvious one that everyone is probably recommending, and we have to.
Yeah.
Because we are who we are. And we can't not tell you that if we're talking about books that you want action that start off right away and you're going to be engaged into a world, Fourth Wing. I mean,
except for that one girl that I just saw her TikTok say that she DNF'd it after 60 pages because it was not interesting.
And you know what?
It's out of here.
It's not for you then. But I love seeing the videos of people on airplanes reading Fourth Wing and like where they start versus like where they're at.
If you're reading this on the plane, like you just have to prepare yourself that you're gonna find friends.
Yes, people are gonna want to talk to you about it.
But also, I think that Fourth Wing fans would respect enough to allow you to read and not bug you about it.
Yeah, they might be like, where are
you at? But when you get up and you go to the bathroom, they'll be like, what part are you at?
What part are you at?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's it's so good. Obviously, every person is recommending it to you, and if you haven't read it yet, what are you waiting for?
Correct. Please.
What are you waiting for?
Please.
Join the fun. Maybe it's not for you, but you have to know. Read it to find out.
Yeah.
Okay?
It could be your next new favorite book.
It could be the one that changes everything for you, that you didn't think you liked fantasy, or you didn't think you liked enemies to lovers, whatever.
It's a good gateway drug.
My mom won't shut the fuck up about it.
Did she reread it yet?
No, she's not. Well, I convinced her she's on Math.
Okay.
Okay, but
is she not liking it?
She's like still Team Hamlin.
No.
She hasn't gotten far enough in. She's just like, this guy thinks he can teach her how to read, and he's like dressing her in slutty clothes. I'm like, yeah, he's the worst.
He's awful. Oh my God, this guy.
That's where she's at. If my mom's not listening to this. So keep going though if you are. But anyways, Fourth Wing. If you haven't read it yet, read it. And if you have read it and you can't think of anything else to read, I don't know, read it again because it's still really good on the second read.
Correct.
What else we got? Arguably better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I just said Anything by Lynn Painter.
Yeah.
And this is in a sense of like better than the movies. Yeah, you have better than the movies right there.
I sure do. It's really cute.
And her books are just they're so quick, cute. You know?
Yeah.
These are ones that they're like YA romances, and she does a real good job of.
Are there no page numbers on this book?
Yes, there are.
Oh, yes, there are. Sad. Look at that.
Oh my god.
It's 343 pages long.
You know, so you can quick fly through these. And they're so quick, they're so cute.
Yeah.
I forget the one that I just read. That was like...
It looked similar to that cover.
It looked similar to that cover. It was really, really cute. And the girl keeps reliving Valentine's Day over and over again.
Oh my god, cute.
Yeah, until she gets it right.
Oh my god, it's like Groundhog's Day. Yeah. I love that.
Yeah. And so she really starts having fun with what she...
Happy Death Day, if that's your jam. Have you seen Happy Death Day?
No.
It's for a girly who doesn't like... I know you don't like scary movies.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
It's spoopy.
And she has to stop herself from getting murdered. It's great.
Oh, okay.
On her birthday.
Her birthday's Valentine's Day?
No, Happy Death Day.
Oh. I thought
no,
it was
but she gets killed on her birthday.
That sucks.
And she has to keep reliving it until she can figure out, I don't know who the killer is.
So I always think that's interesting.
Two of them.
Like, what a way to go out, like, on your birthday, and then your headstone also says, like, the same day. You know what I mean? I know. So it's an interesting one.
I know. It's a weird thing for your family to celebrate each year.
Sure is. But it only gives them one day of grief, in a sense. So is that a good thing or a bad thing? I don't know. Double dose on one day.
I don't know.
Anywho, why don't you talk about the next one? Things got real dark.
Okay, let's move on to the inheritance games. Okay, so this one is like, I always describe it as Knives Out. Okay, so
love that movie.
Yes, so it's a girl that finds out that she has this inheritance to someone she's never met and she's not related to. She has no idea why this old man would leave her all of this money in this mansion. Mm-hmm. But he's definitely into puzzles. And so he's groomed his other grandchildren and his children to like figure out puzzles, kind of like Knives Out. Like everything's mystery. Like, and so they're convinced that there's like this code as to why it's her and why not them, and so there's all these puzzles and mysteries to figure out, and you are immediately sucked into it. It is a series. There is 4 of them, but like the first one, it is Knives Out. It just gets you there.
I love that, and you're in it.
And there's a little love triangle.
Oh, okay.
I know. Because we know she's not related to them, so it's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
But she's like, what the hell? Her mom died. She's like, what the hell? I literally have no idea why this man would leave.
Does she have no family either?
No family, not like she's got nothing happening. And these boys, of course, hate her. Of course, the whole family hates her because they all thought they were getting all this money.
Yeah.
And now she has to move into this mansion.
Oh, shucks.
With these like hot brothers.
Oh, dang.
I know.
Yeah.
So, anyways, inheritance games. If you're like into like a puzzle, if you like that kind of stuff. If you like mysteries, puzzles, but also a little bit of a romance.
Yeah. And then we'll go back into fantasy.
Okay. Oh, yeah. Let's go back to fantasy.
Yeah. Powerless by Lauren Roberts. And this one, really, it's a quick read. It's a quick read.
In terms of fantasy, the world building is there
You're
immediately.
Easy, you're into it right away, and it feels very like familiar and comfortable right away.
Yeah, there's like the trials that we see in a lot of YA, like Hunger Games, the other ones.
There's magic, that people have powers, different kinds of powers. And there's a love triangle.
Yeah. This one is like kind of flipping the script, though, on your average fantasy because she doesn't have powers, which is why it's called Powerless. And she has to pretend.
So she's existing in this world with people all around her that have powers.
Yeah, and she has to basically pretend that she does have a power.
Yeah.
Which is not easy to do.
No. Banter is amazing. Yep. Tension is great.
Yep. Slow burn on the romance happening.
Yep.
You don't have to worry about like spice and being like, ooh, like no, it's all very YA.
And if you've read that and you're like,
Cool. What's next?
Powerful.
You will definitely finish it on the plane.
Is her novella that just came out. And that follows her best friend and what's happening to her while the main character from Powerless, while Peyton is in the trials. And you'll cruise through that. That's super easy.
Both are very quick, easy reads. Again, like good, I hate to say beginner fantasy because we're very into the fantasy world and we still liked it.
Yeah.
But easy to understand.
Correct. It's not you're not going to be confused. You're going to really be...
It's all very familiar.
Yes, absolutely.
Highly recommend that one. Which, let's just say we met Lauren Roberts. She's a doll. And to everyone like giving us crap on our video of the pyramid and Powerless being 6th place, we didn't put it there. Okay? Our book club did. We all voted.
And
it's not our fault that we happened to pick.
There were 12 books.
And they were all great.
They were all good. Powerless came in 6th. That doesn't mean she's at the bottom.
No, it just happens to be of that particular TikTok. There was only 6 books I could put.
6 books we could put there.
We did the top
and
6.
She, I mean...
listen, she was up against some hardcore books, and the genres were all over the place. We just happen to have people in our book club that maybe like romance better than
And when you have 10 people voting, it's just...
Listen, so back off Sarah and I. We didn't put it there, okay?
It's the way the cookie
crumbles. We
obviously
went and saw Lauren Roberts. We met her, all the things. We love Lauren Roberts. So back off. We like her, okay?
Pump the brakes.
We love her enough to even recommend her to you, okay? We love her. Pump the brakes.
Pump the brakes.
Moving on. We have 2 more left.
I said anything Sarah Adams.
Okay, yes. Give them some examples.
She generally writes closed-door romances. Cheat Sheet, Practice Makes Perfect. What's the other one?
Rule Book?
Rule Book, but there's another one that goes before Practice Makes Perfect. I'm forgetting it. But she has just started with the Rule Book. There is an open door scene.
Ooh.
So she is starting to dip her toes in.
Okay.
And her books they're short. They're on the shorter side. You're going to fly through them. They're funny. They're engaging. Like, very, very easy. Nice, bright, beautiful covers.
Yeah.
So I would...
Anything by her. So just look her up.
Anything Sarah Adams.
Yeah.
And then the last one I put on there was 7 Year Slip by Ashley Poston. So I've talked about The Dead Romantics, which is by her before.
Yes.
This one is like a magical realism type deal. So this girl lives she inherits her aunt's apartment.
Yeah.
And she is in the apartment, and then all of a sudden there's a guy in the apartment. But he is from 7 years prior.
Oh my God, you know what it's giving? It's giving, the guy that, Time Traveler's Wife.
Yes. Yes. So
good gravy.
So they come together, and then he disappears, and she's, trying to figure out who he is, but she's still living her life. Eventually their paths cross again in present time. So you keep jumping, and this is a magical apartment. And
okay, real question. I hope this doesn't give anything away. When they finally meet in real time, does he have any recollection of him having gone back, or has that not happened for him in his time yet? Yes. Okay, cool. Great. You're not giving anything away. But it's giving Time Traveler's Wife. Am I right?
Honestly, it's very cute, and it is. It is.
Not gut-wrenching like Time Traveler's Wife was?
No.
Okay, great. Because that was, woof.
No,
right through my heart, that one.
No, this is it's a romance,
Lighthearted.
Yeah, lighthearted.
A lighthearted Time Traveler's Wife, if you will.
Yeah. So if you like that magical realism you have magic existing in the real world, this is really fun.
I do. And then outside of that, of course, there are the people that don't want to read any of this. They want to read, autobiographies. And that's cool. We've read some too. Yeah. I tend to lean more on the lighthearted side.
Absolutely.
Ones. I don't want any politics and that kind of stuff. I don't want to be reading about a president or anything scandalous. What I do want to be reading is Tom Felton.
Sure. Yeah.
Beyond the Wand. What a story that man has. For those of you who are like, who? He played Draco.
Draco Malfoy.
I also really love any comedy-based ones. So, Amy Poehler, Tina Fey, Mindy Kaling, Steve Martin. Give me any comedians autobiography, and I'm going to read it. A really kind of older one, but was really good, was Kristen Chenoweth's.
Oh,
yeah, it was really good, and it sticks with me for a long time because there was a lot of like banter about her and Idina Menzel having a rivalry, and she really goes in depth about that. She laid it out. And I love that. Like, if I'm going to read an autobiography, give me the juice.
Absolutely.
Give me the tea, baby.
Absolutely.
Like, I don't want to tiptoe around it. Give me actual famous people's names and give me all that shit.
And I feel like autobiographies are good to, like, pick up, put down.
Yeah.
Deal too.
Yeah. So, those are fun. Give me, like, famous celebrities. Don't give me politics. Give me Britney Spears all day, you know?
Yeah, I'm not reading about Abe Lincoln. You know what I mean?
That.
Yeah.
Sorry. I don't want to read, like, Barack or Bush or, like, any of that. Pass.
Fair.
Anyway, so those are our plane reads. Tell us what you think. Like, are those good picks? Because we were like,
like what
when makes a good plane read in your mind?
An airplane read. What's the criteria?
Yeah, and like again, if you're on a Kindle and you've got a poker face, you can probably read anything. But I super stay away from ones that are going to make me cry because I am a big crier, big time. I really am, and I don't want to be. I already look rough on a plane. I don't need that, you know. So that's like just my number. Like I don't have much. Number one, don't make me cry.
Fair. So don't get to the certain parts in.
Which is why I left off like Abby Jimenez and Emily Henry and some of these authors that I love.
You're gonna feel feelings.
I can't read Abby Jimenez on a plane. Are you kidding me? Oh my God! People are gonna think I'm going home for a funeral or something. I would be bald. I can't.
The flight attendant comes over, ma'am,
are you okay?
Here's a box
of
a
towel.
Tissues.
Do you need a hot towel?
Yeah.
Yes.
You start getting like comfort from the man sitting next to you. It's like,
and he's not my husband, so I'm like, you don't touch me.
Please,
I choose the bear.
Please. Every time.
Every time I choose the bear.
Every time.
But those are our plane read recommendations, which is cool because outside of Fourth Ring, I don't think we have done any of these.
No, and. Like we said, we have some plane rides coming up.
We sure do.
So what do you recommend?
So recommend us some because I'm always like, what do I read on the plane?
Yeah. Hook us up.
Hook a girl up.
Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
Right.
Thanks for reading plane reads. Tune in next week because it's going to be an amazing episode. See you then.
Bye.